Hello, peace seekers. This is Saniqua White dropping in to give you a piece of my mind that will hopefully give you some peace of mind. And today I want to talk about a pretty tough topic: betrayal. What do you do when someone you thought you could trust ends up hurting you? And this is not just in general, because we're people. We're going to disappoint others. We're going to disappoint ourselves. We're going to hurt people, whether intentionally or unintentional, because we're people. But what I'm talking about is betrayal. Someone who likely intentionally hurt you and turned on you when you thought that this was somebody that you could trust. What do you do when you encounter betrayal, when you experience betrayal? How do you deal with it, and how do you recover from it? So betrayal is probably something that most of us have experienced in some form or fashion in our lives. Now, it may have not been detrimental or life-altering. You may have been able to recover from it fairly simply or easily, but for most people, betrayal is really deep and really harmful, really detrimental. And so I want you to make sure that you have a plan for that. If you are betrayed by someone you thought you could trust, you know what you're going to do. You know how to handle it, you know how to deal with it, and you know how you're going to recover from it. Because it will be a grieving process. It will be also a different process in and of itself. Do you allow this person to remain in your life or come back into your life? These are decisions that you have to make. This is where the person who has betrayed you does not have any say-so. This is all on you to decide whether or not this person gets to remain or come back into your life. So first of all, I want to talk about what could a betrayal look like. And mainly it's about a loss of trust. So now you no longer trust this person, at least in certain areas, if at all. So this is someone has cheated on you. Someone has stolen something from you. Someone has lied to you to the point where it caused you some major issues. So what are you going to do, first of all, to protect yourself and your intellectual property, the things that you own, your emotions, your mental state, your money, your whatever it is that this person is threatening to take away from you? You have to be able to protect yourself from them or from whatever it is that they're betraying you in. So how do you protect your mind, your emotions, your money, your assets, your children? Whatever the case may be, you need to protect yourself from a person who has betrayed you. Another thing that you will need to do now is decide, okay, is this a person that needs to be in my life? Can I remove this person from my life because they've betrayed me and I no longer trust them, can no longer trust them with me or my things? Is this a person who you can remove from your life, who needs to be removed from your life? Or is this a person who you still sort of have to have some dealings with in some form or fashion? Decide that. What place do they hold in your life, if they have to hold a place in your life at all? This is where boundaries comes in. If they need to be in your life, or they still have to have a part of your life for whatever the reason, now you have to think about what the boundaries are. If they don't need to be in your life, a good consideration is completely removing them. Because if they've betrayed you, to a detrimental level, you have no trust for them at this point, and you're not really sure if they'll do that again, because now you don't really understand who this person is that you thought you could trust. So if this is a person that can be removed from your life, that's a strong consideration. If it's a person who cannot, then that's where the boundaries, strong boundaries, need to come into place. So think about the first question. What do you need to protect yourself from, or how do you need to protect yourself? That's how you set your boundaries. If this person doesn't need to be within 10,000 feet of you, that's a boundary that may call for you to have a protective order of some sort that legally keeps them from you, if you feel the need to go that far. But if this is a person who you just don't really want to talk to or be around by yourself, if you always need to have another party with you, if you have to deal with that person, make that known and set that as a boundary. You will not be around this person alone ever again. That is your boundary. So whatever it is that you need to set as a boundary to protect yourself, and I've got several videos on boundaries that you can go take a look at, but one thing I want to say here about boundaries is you are not trying to set boundaries to control the person that betrayed you. You are setting boundaries to protect yourself from their behavior. So they don't get a say-so in what your boundaries are. This is all up to you at this point, and they will either abide by your boundaries or they will choose to remove themselves from your life. You don't have to put anybody out of your life if you don't want to. Set the boundary strong enough to where if they cross them, the consequence that you implement makes them decide that they don't want to deal with that. Okay? So this is a tough topic, betrayal, because most of us want to believe that people are good and we want to see the good in them, and we want to remember all the good things and not the bad things. But this is where you could get into trouble doing it that way. Yes, you want to see the good, and yes, the person is probably not all bad, but if that betrayal was deep enough to have an effect on your life that did some damage, you have to recover from that, and you have to allow yourself the time and space to recover from that. So going into recovery mode, you have to put those things in place first to protect you from their behavior. And then you need to decide, okay, can I recover from this on my own, or do I need assistance? Do I need a friend? Do I need a pastor or a minister? Do I need professional help? Do I need a coach or a counselor? Decide what it is that you need in order to recover, and then set your goals to get that accomplished. Talk to someone first. It doesn't matter who it is, just let someone know what you're going through, what you're dealing with. But also, you don't want to burden or weigh down your friends if this is something heavier than they can probably handle. You want to seek professional help to put this on, because it's not a burden to a professional. It's what we do. But you need to allow yourself a recovery period after a betrayal, so that you can see clearly. Because a lot of times we go back into situations that we shouldn't, because we're not seeing clearly, and we're only wanting to look at the good that we remember and not look at the betrayal and the potential of it happening again. So give yourself a recovery period. So remember, protect yourself, set the boundaries or remove that person from your life, and then allow yourself to recover. I hope this information is helpful. If it is, give this video a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel so that you get more videos. If you'd like to comment, I'd love to hear from you. I'll be back soon, but until then, be proactive about your mental health. Be well, and God bless.